Welcome back to Business Roaches. Business Roaches, Business Roaches, Business Roaches. Okay, this is our podcast all about entrepreneurship, surviving entrepreneurship, and the journey, and how you just kind of have to be a cockroach to survive the startup world.
The
and
nuclear war
disaster that is starting
that
a
is
business.
a startup.
No, but lots of reward. Okay, so today's question we're going to talk about: what purchase or action has provided your biggest ROI? What's an ROI? I should probably define
Return on investment. So what have we done or purchase?
What purchase or action? I mean, I think we talked about this in a previous episode, but very quickly is investing the time and energy, the money in anything that's working and not what's not working. So for us, it was a line of business. For us, it was a type of ad, right? So like really just focusing, looking at the P&L and seeing what actually is working.
Mm-hmm. I think it's not a purchase. It's just losing finance people has been the best thing that's ever happened to us.
Like losing finance people?
Yeah, because we've had to look at the business.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It's
us
just
being more focused
yeah,
on
well,
finance.
It's a really hard thing when you're a founder and bootstrapped and like inexperienced in
and
a lot of
had
things.
the growth we had.
And had the extreme growth, like 6,000% growth over a year, which was insane.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that we thought we were doing really well was hiring an expert or experts to help us with the finance part of things. And what we learned very quickly is you can and you should hire experts wherever you can, but that's a crutch sometimes, and you have to be really careful because as a founder, you cannot not know your numbers.
Yeah.
You just can't. And you can't not know what is the return on investment of this particular line of business versus that? Where are the marketing dollars going? Where you just can't. You cannot assume that somebody cares enough or is honestly smart enough or helpful enough or experienced enough to really drive the financial element of your business. And that's all of it, especially when you're bootstrapped like us.
Yeah.
So I think the biggest ROI was losing the people who you were relying on.
It was a refocus for us and
but that
changing
was years.
Changing what we outsourced is what we did. We changed what we outsourced.
Yeah.
Because that's the action we took.
We learned.
Yeah.
Like the thing is we learned.
Instead of outsourcing that, we had to learn the knowledge in-house, which was a shift for us.
It's a huge shift.
And it's a hard one because you don't know what you don't know yet. You know what I mean? Like when you're starting, like you don't know anything. So like you don't know what is smart to outsource versus not. Like honestly, the closest thing I knew is like I knew kind of what to do with marketing. Like I knew I didn't want an agency anymore. I knew I wanted someone to do paid. Like we knew certain things.
Yeah.
But like that's just because I have a background in marketing, you know?
Yeah.
Like the rest of it is so
but
hard
that's kind
to
of the
figure
point
out.
is we don't have the background in finance. We thought we were doing the right thing by hiring, outsourcing,
But
and
it's
we
a crutch.
weren't. We were not. That was not right. We should have learned. We shouldn't have just been like, okay, you got this.
Yeah.
Report back to us.
To be honest, we had a lot of bad partners too. Like
I mean,
in a row. You know what I mean?
I think every startup does. I think that's learn from us, please, because
Yeah.
just be really careful.
Also, take recommendations from other entrepreneurs or businesses who they're working with.
They've been amazing.
Because that's really what like unlocked us and some of our partners now.
Oh, yeah.
Like honestly, everyone we work with is pretty much a recommendation from
literally
another
everybody,
business.
actually.
Yeah.
We also shifted the way that we did our business. We started with a lot of full-time roles and a lot of people working full-time at Happy Box on specific XYZ, whatever it might be, whatever it was. And we shifted because we're more of a seasonal business. So for us to be able to ebb and flow, that flexibility, and to be very transparent about our partners or with our partners about that ebb and flow, I think is really important.
Yeah.
But I think like you have to figure out how the goal of owning a business is figure out how to not lose money. Yeah. That's like it. How to gain more money and not lose so much money, right?
Yeah.
That's like the whole thing. So I think in that you have to be looking at the numbers. You have to be making really hard decisions and finding the right people that can help you get there.
Yeah. And when I think of ROI too, I just think of marketing for us, like, and how we overspent so much on marketing at a certain point, and you have to be so tight on your ROI careful. And like the return on everything you're doing. And the fucked up part is it changes all the time.
And also don't listen to agencies, any agencies, none of them. No. Don't listen to them. You can hear them, but you have to trust yourself. And
you know your business more than anyone, and you should be directing them. There should not be,
if anything sounds too good to be true, it is. Anything.
That's actually great
advice.
You
know what I was thinking? There was this PR girl who reached out to us once, and like she just said the right thing. She was like, $1,500 and I'll be on retainer for you for the month. And we were so little. It was like maybe within the first 6 months of starting Happy Box. Like it was so little. Like we were nobody. And she just said the right thing. As like I said, well, could you be ready
if I got these orders?
Yeah. Could you handle it if I got you on Good Morning America? I just want to make sure. Like she said the right thing. And guess what happened? We paid her $1,500 and we never heard from her again. So I would just be really, so the thing is, be really careful with the partners that you pick. That will fuck up your ROI so quickly. Tight with your numbers. I mean, for us, it's different. We're looking at marketing in a way like maybe people don't have the experience that you have on marketing. So I think where we were like very focused on marketing, it led so much to our growth. Our profitability tanked because we weren't focused on the finance. So,
which is, again, I think what's so hard about what happened to us is everyone experienced, I think every startup experiences to a degree, but not like us, because 6,000% growth. I mean, that's what landed us on the Inc. 5,000. Yeah. That's not normal. That's not normal. Not normal, though. Not healthy. Not
really scary.
Really scary. Really hard to figure out, especially when there's physical goods involved. So we just scrambled. Like, we just lost money and scrambled at that time. Like, even though, and it's so funny, we always talk about this, how, like, it seems so seamless. You make the Inc. 5,000, this growth, like, oh my God, but what got us there? Like, how did we get there and how we survived that? It was like, insane. And that's a story for another time. But yeah, I think just making sure, honestly, your ROI overall. I feel like that's the most basic thing in business is like, are you generating any kind of return on what you're doing? And if you're not, you might take a look on. Take a look.
I think that question's problematic because I think ROI at all leads to the decisions that you need to make, and you can't. You also have to give enough time for things to run. But
at the beginning, it won't.
But you have to pull the plug when it doesn't. And so I think knowing that, like, we just pulled the plug on a cold email outreach vendor that we were working with because it wasn't working, and we gave it time. We tried to change it. We optimized it. We set resources aside for it, and it didn't work. And point blank, when things don't work, cut it. Yeah. Because you cannot be, and again, this is like a very bootstrap mentality because we are bootstrapped, but I don't want to lose money. Yeah. And also it's our money. Yeah. It's like not just like, an investor.
That's a big trend for 2025.
Not that you should lose your investors' money, but it's just doesn't hit you as
different when it's your money.
When it's yours,
not your investors' money. But for us, what investors? So,
no, but out there.
2025 though is the year, it seems, of cutting. I mean, like every D2C brand. I mean, I'm like reading the trends. It's like everyone is cutting when it's not working. You have to because everyone's scared of what's going on in the economy. So I think this is it's a good business lesson. You should probably do it anyway. But now it seems like people are really gonna hunker down.
I also think we had to make such drastic cuts when we went from we were selling like 3,000 gifts a week to what we're doing now, which is significantly less. Profit is significantly more. So I think like having, like, I remember the day that we knew we had to lay off some of our staff, and pull back our spend because we were terrified. It was a horrible day. Actually, my husband wrote it down. It's coming up. It's like I think it was May 11th or May 9th of 2022. And
oh, you're right. 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God.
We laid off a lot of our staff. We cut marketing significant. I'm talking like 90%, which, marketing leads to sales, but doesn't lead to profitable sales in every case, right? You have to track that ROI. We had an agency who we were working with. We fired our agencies. We fired every partner vendor that we could have. We cut. We pulled everything. And we went from many sales a day that were not profitable to minimal sales with high profitability. Yeah. And like, once you understand that that's the better move, you can start looking at your P&L, looking at, what's happening and making better decisions. Yeah. Okay, now that we have, let's call it 2 sales a day, how do I get to 3? How do I get to 4? And then you start really looking at your company. Again, the goal of the business is to make money. It's not, you're not just like out here trying to raise awareness about a product that is losing you money. That is so silly. Like, absolutely not.
And also it forces you to look at your own channels. Like for us, it forced me to get back into email marketing because I was like, well, we have this list, and if we're not doing ads, this list better work harder for me. So really focus on your own channels and things that are a little bit scrappier.
Existing customers.
Getting repeat customers. That's when we launched a loyalty program.
We started corporate. We started mining our people,
the clients and customers, and getting more feedback. That was, it was good because it really turned our attention back to the
it's
core business
that you can control too. You can't control the marketing landscape. You can't control that stuff. But what you can control is how many times you reach out to your customers. Can you stay top of mind with your clients? Those are things that you can absolutely control. And then it goes back to like something about like sales always scared me because I'm like, oh God, like how could you possibly know if someone's going to buy? But then I realized like, you just have to keep asking and like then
show value.
Show value, have a great product. Yes, of course. Listen to your customers. The customers that you listen to will stay with you. Yeah. Those customers will stay with you.
And they'll grow your business.
Oh, yeah.
They'll inform you of things that are going to grow your business anyway. I mean, how many times has that happened? We build something because of one client.
Oh my God.
And it's like blown up our business. I mean.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that goes back to listening to your customers. That's all it is. But yeah.
But I think like we didn't do that for a long time from a corporate standpoint, at least. We didn't even know that was a line of business up until we had to pull back and we started to recognize, wait a minute, this is working, this isn't working, this is not profitable, but it leads to this. And then you have to make some decisions, and it's not that it's so easy, right? You don't know what you're gonna do. You just have to guess and check. And that's where it gets really interesting.
Are there any tools that we've bought that you think? I think there are some tools, like project management tools.
Honestly, run a P&L. Just run your P&L. Have a great bookkeeper. That's like huge. And build systems to be able to look at your books. If you can't look at your books, you will never know where your money is, where your expenses lie. What is the most expensive part of your business? What is the most profitable part of your business? Where can you spend a little bit and that's okay, and lose a little bit of money because it informs this or that? Like you won't know anything until you run that P&L and look at it month over month and see the trends. And that's a really hard thing for a company like us to do, because we have this entire B2C e-commerce side of our business. And then we have all of our corporate lines of business. We have deferred revenue. We have actual revenue. We have so many pieces that have to structurally kind of like communicate to each other and work together.
Yeah, because in normal business, they look at QuickBooks. For us, it's a little bit more complex. We had to build systems, but I think like QuickBooks is a great tool. I think we use Monday.com for project management. It's a great tool. There are some tools that really do save us time. We invest in Google Workspace a little bit heavier, so we have a little bit more access there. There's a lot of stuff with AI right now. We're using some note taker stuff. Like those things do pay off.
QuickBooks.
Yeah, I mean, everyone needs QuickBooks. I don't know what you're doing if you don't have QuickBooks.
I don't know.
So.
And like getting in there, like we have like we're supposed to have a weekly meeting. We have it like every week, every other week. But I give like little recaps monthly of like where we are. Quarterly, definitely. We talk to our CPA and just make sure you're understanding. And I think too, push your bookkeepers, push your accounting people to say, where can I be better? What are you seeing? Are you seeing a problem? Are you seeing a trend? Where are we from last year to this year? And you may not have all of that information. Just keep that in mind as you're building your business. Tracking things is so important. Like it's just, I mean, we just ran a whole report on Q1 of 2025, and I mean, things are great, and it's really up from last year, and that's really surprising to me because we've been so operationally focused. But, just, I don't know, like know your numbers really, and what that means is
so there's no silver bullet. I mean, it's really about, and also every business is different. For us, we have so many pieces, so the tool may be different, but it's looking at the P&L and understanding what is actually driving return. I think the biggest challenge is going to be for people. If you're just starting, when do you know that you should be starting to generate a return? Which is a really hard question to answer because you do have to build some awareness. There's no world. When we first started doing ads, there was no profit. I mean,
we lost money immediately, but then we got a handle on it. Yeah, we got a handle on it because we had the wrong partner.
Yeah, it's true. Once you get the right partner, they will help inform you of what is realistic as well.
Yeah, ask your friends. Sorry, let me rephrase. Ask your startup friends, founder friends, because every founder wants to help. Yeah. That's the truth. Like, we want to help. If you have questions, definitely reach out to us. Yeah. But we have a great network of people who we've tapped into and who've led us in the... And if you do start being profitable, be very careful, because that's when the vultures kind of come out.
Yeah. We should do an episode on that, on the vultures. There's a lot of vultures.
There are.
When you're a founder.
When you're a roach.
Trying to sneak into your world. Anyway. Yeah. Okay, so with that, let's talk about the win of the week. To recap, what we do here is entrepreneurship is hard. There's lots of lows, so we want to celebrate every little win, even if it's little. So do you have a good win for this week?
Last year, we experienced growth for the first time in a while, which was really nice. And we've always, survival is growth sometimes, and you kind of deal with economic climates that are not favorable for small businesses, which is
I was
what
going to
we're
say
in.
favorable too.
Oh, really?
It's like we're sisters.
Oh. So I just ran this Q1 report for 2025. Very exciting. Our profitability is up like 111%, which is insane. That's a lot of work. And last year was a growth year where we experienced an even higher percentage of growth. So I think we're kind of figuring out to talk about the ROI, talk about focusing on what matters. For us, we know what that is. We're very clear, crystal clear on the vision, crystal clear on how it impacts our business. And I think that is a huge win, because let me tell you, that vagueness, that lack of clarity is there constantly. It takes time, takes energy, and it takes honesty. And that is really fucking hard when you want it to be something, but it actually is something else.
Yeah.
So I think that has been a major focus over the past, definitely this year, but over the past, I would say full on like 6 to 8 months, we've been like, okay, look, this is the company. And this is where we're going to be. And it's been exciting. So that's really cool for us.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks. And if you have any questions, you can always DM us at HappyBox if you want us to answer one of your questions.
Yeah. Or like partners, just like reach out to us. It's okay. We don't bite. Roaches don't bite, do they? Disgusting.
Ew.
I don't want to
visualize
I don't want to think about
roach
that.
biting.
Okay. Well, bye.